Okay, so I just took off that little panel right there to take off the exhaust. This bracket is actually welded on, so I'll have to cut this bracket off. Not showing up, but it's welded right onto the frame. That's the old exhaust bracket. Then I could probably move the motor up another 1/4 inch. But as for moving the motor this way, to get the pulleys to line up, it has to go right to the edge. Now the bad thing is, the clearance here is going to be touching the motor, so I'll actually have to cut it right above the pedal so it doesn't get in the way of the pedal, probably right here, and I'll have to modify it so the handle's out this way. Bad thing is, there's the push rod inside the handle, so that might be a little bit of a bitch. Right now it has to come apart because it is sticking. Well, I quickly cut that front piece to fit around the motor there. As you see, it's not really the most roundest job, I guess you could say, or the nicest fit, but I can always go back and tune that up later on if I care. Hood is just kind of sitting on top of the front piece there. It's not bolted on right there, but just kind of seeing how everything's going to fit here, and I'm thinking I could probably just get away with cutting out just from here and to the end of the air box. The other option is if I take off the exhaust, I could just cut out for the air box only and then maybe build a stack for it. So well, I just decided, yes, I'm going to cut the hood. I didn't really want to, but I really have no choice, so I'm going to give that a nice slice. Front end here is on, of course, you just seen that. And as for the stock gas tank, I'm thinking I would get away with just sliding it over that way just a tiny bit. The fuel line I might have to bend a bit, and basically the fuel line will just be looped kind of in a loop and then back up to it. So if that, no, fuel line will just be looped and then back up to the tank once I slide it over. Should be fine. I don't think I'll have any problems with gravity feed. Gas tank will be still high enough. And as for the stock exhaust, to be honest, I really don't know. I know I'm not going to really have room to do what I was thinking, is running a pipe up, around, and then back up through the hole in the hood. That's just not going to fit. So the only thing I can think of is if I weld the exhaust in here and then weld myself a flange right on the top here, going straight out. That could be a project for another day, which could possibly be done. Okay, so I have her cut out. I'm just starting to reprofile it now. I'm thinking I'm going to go start with about 1.5 inches or so. Redo the bend here where it used to be right up here. Actually, the bend will be up there a little bit more, but just thinking I'll start doing it that way. And I'll see how it turns out. And if I need to, I can always bend it some more. I don't want to make it out any more than it needs to. Well, from here, or from right here, it's kind of hard to see what I did. Well, now you can see, I just put it out like that. You can see, for clearance wise, it's almost sitting on top of the muffler there. So I kind of like this on a downward angle a bit like that. I'm not sure how well that's showing up. It's a little bit of a downward angle, so I might just keep it resting on top of the gas tank, or gas tank frickin' exhaust. It's not touching the air intake here, so. But yep, that's how she's gonna sit. Now I gotta decide now if I want to take these lips here, make them straight, and add on so it comes down up to here, straight across. Standing up, you would never notice it. It would just look like it's pretty well, from here you'd never notice it, but yeah, I got a camera horribly out of focus, probably dirt on the lens. But there's a lot of wrinkles in here and stuff. I originally, I was using that shitty anvil right there, and it has some chunks missing out of the top of it, so yeah. So I'll have to take the bodywork hammer and dolly and probably get out every little pebble here. So, or I could just Bondo wagon it. Yeah, Bondo, that'll hide it. Now for these here, I'm thinking instead of going straight across like flat, I'm actually thinking I might kind of go like this. Kind of give it like a kind of a flatter, or not flatter, but kind of an angled piece here. This weld on angles here, all the way across. Actually, I got a piece that I could probably make fit right there. Where's my bodywork pile? No, that won't work. But that is the metal I could use. No, that one fit. maybe fit if I wanted to go like this. Hammer it into there. Old wheel lip. Actually, I might have enough using this. It is pretty thin, but it's nothing to weld. I did have another piece of it here somewhere. Maybe not. Maybe I'll have to go pick some more out from in the junk pile outside. Actually, might be in the shed. I know I got more of that from an install job. I just took a picture to post it on Facebook. Then I just read that. That's gonna be great. So I'm just gonna toss a quick picture up on Facebook. And one thing I thought I should mention is got some stickers from Rex 4x4. So if anyone's not subscribed to him, check him out. He has some pretty sweet lawn tractor videos and a lot of motorcycle and ATV stuff. So yeah, check him out. I actually got 2 stickers. One we stuck on the fridge, and one is the exact same but orange. It almost matches that toolbox, but I don't really want to put stickers on there. I'm kind of thinking it might end up on this tractor when it's done. So just packing up for today. Going to be getting out of here in a few minutes, and just thought I'd throw that in my video before I forget. Okay, back to working on her. I just shoved tape on there so I don't slice my hands because I was too lazy to clean it up. I mean, kind of push that a little bit back into shape, this panel. Once I tack weld something in between, it'll work good. Now I kind of had an idea for this. Instead of welding in a solid piece, I was originally thinking maybe going on an angle kind of piece like that. Then I kind of thought, you know, kind of cheesy looking then. But what I was thinking is metal mesh. See here, I got to straighten this out a bit better. I just cut it real quick, and as you can see, it's a wide cut because I cut it with a grinding disc because I was too lazy to put on a cutting disc, and I knew I wanted to put it on a little bit of an angle. Yeah, I was too lazy to put on a cutting disc. It's not that I don't have them. I got tons of them right there, and I got a whole pack of them right there, and a bunch more different ones up there and wherever else. So I'm thinking of putting expanded steel, like metal mesh. So, same idea as, actually, if I could find something maybe like this, the same mesh they use on the front. So, because that would be the easiest way to do it, and it would look pretty decent. Now, if I was going to do that, I should have stopped cutting it right about there. So this I'll have to fill in with something behind it. That's no big deal. I'm going to fill this in, and as you can see, it's still pretty bumpy looking. Probably see it better there, so have to take out the old bodywork hammer and kind of give it a little bit of a better shot. Peel off some of these stickers here, which are kind of falling apart anyway from being flexed. So let you guys know in a few minutes what happens. Okay, so I just found some of my old dog leg material from old Ford Exploder, so might just cut out a chunk there, cut out a chunk on this side, weld it in with that. When I started looking, I got some of that steel that looks almost the same on that heat shield. So this heat shield here with the edges like this would actually make a perfect patch when I cut it. So I just take the end caps off, because I don't really need a heat shield on this exhaust, on this one anyway. So that's one idea, or this. So I just got to decide what I want to do. I hate to kind of kill a muffler on there, but shit happens. Now, somewhere in this hoard pile, I have the old original muffler off my 10 horsepower engine. So, not this 10 horsepower, but my other one. But I think that might have been solid. Yeah, I'm going to guess it's solid like that one. Yeah, there's another heat shield. So, thinking I might do that. Oh, this one's solid on the ends on that muffler. Huh. Still kind of deciding. Oh, and I am kind of deciding about running the exhaust, like I was saying before, drilling a hole in the top of the exhaust here and plugging it on the side and making sure it flows proper to kind of have like an out spout kind of like that. So as long as it's at a decent enough RPM, the smoke should not go in my face. On idle, oh yeah, I'm going to be breathing it right in. So it's kind of a stupid idea, but it would kind of look kind of cool. So another option is just to put a 90 on it right here and just dump it this way. That's why I'm thinking I might not want to make the hood any lower. So ideas, not enough time. A layer of dust on those. You can sure see I haven't used them in a long time. So it took about I guess about the same space as if I would have cut it out with a grinder. So And these, they don't like going over lips and around corners the best, so kind of deciding how I want to do it. It would actually fit perfect if I left that dent in there. So just still deciding where I want to cut from. So I kind of want to keep this curve here piece out of it. The bottom I don't really care too much. Okay, so this is how it's turning out. Yeah, it might look like shit right now, but a grinder will fix that. When I'm done, you'll barely even be able to see where I'm welding. I'm just going to put a complete bead all the way down. The reason why I'm doing that is because I got it all tacked from the other side, but that'll always look like a groove, and to be honest, I'm too lazy to put Bondo on it, so I want pure metal. Burnt through right here, so I'll give that a bit of tack. Maybe I'll use my camera as a, or my phone, and maybe I'll even cook it doing this. It's always fun fixing holes. There we go. Pretty well fixed, but I always go over it again. That was all out of the view, wasn't it? Damn it. Okay, so just went right over top that, kind of tacky style, and now I'll give it a grind down and see how it looks. And of course I'm going to go a little bit lower than that, so that's just for now. So yeah, normally you could fill this in with Bondo if you wanted to, but no, I'm going to go until it's flush, just like up here. There's a hole there a few seconds ago. Bad thing is doing it this way, you never know how thin it is. Might end up only being paper thin when you're done. And my camera doesn't like to focus. But I'm not going to videotape anymore because I don't want to burn out my phone camera. Well, that's the finished product right there. So, have it folded over. And the other side looks like shit, but it's nice and smooth. So, I'm not going to bother putting Bondo or anything on it. There is a little bit of a recess or a little lump here, which I tried to hammer out a little bit, but for now I'm going to give that a coat of some kind of thick paint, and there we go. That's how it looks. I just gave it an ugly coat of sealer primer just to try to stop the rust from coming through. It's probably the way it'll sit until I decide if I want to paint the whole tractor or not. So there you go. A little bit ugly up on here because I didn't want to grind too much off. I'll wait till I'm ready to paint it properly, then I will. And also I wanted to say thank you to Rex 4x4 for the awesome sticker. I got it the other day and stuck the white one on the fridge right there, right in front of my finger. And as for this one, I'm not too sure where I want to put it. I was thinking on toolbox because it almost matches, but not too sure yet. Well, I'm thinking I might wait till the racing tractor's done. It's of course buried underneath there. And put all the stickers onto the racing tractor. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. And again, thank you for the sticker. It's pretty sweet looking. Well, just starting my weekend, Thursday night. Have the generator running outside. As you can see in the bottom corner there, a little bit of blurriness there. So letting that run for a bit. Don't have any load on it, but I'm only going to run it for about 20 minutes. I guess I'm going to weld up the other side of this hood. I just got to take it here, kind of fold this edge down so it's flat on the bottom like this. All the way, because right here I kind of banged it straight. And I was actually going to use expanded mesh, expanded steel there, but not going to weld it up solid, just to match this side. So I guess I'll get off my ass and start doing that. And there you go. I could take off some of this tape here. And what I have to do is bend this and put the hood in place, put the plate there, tack it, then remove the hood. Because I want to make sure I got a tight fit here. And that's the piece of steel I'm using here. I just quickly gave it a little bit of a flex, or a deflexing, or whatever the hell you want to call it. It used to not be flat. A little bit wrinkly, but Bondo will cover that. Same thing I did here, so there's a little bit of bumps in there, but again, Bondo. I'm not going to bother doing a Bondo job on it. I'll just leave it bare metal. If someone else after wants to do it, who cares? Time to tack her in place. And no, I don't need to cut it any more than that. It will be overlapped in there nicely. And then after, I'll trim it off from the outside. So I just give it a shot of paint here. And Yeah, it looks like shit, but it's going to hold. See there, I folded over to one lip, welded it from both sides, and I welded it actually underneath here, but that's just where I tacked it after folding it. So I'm going to let that dry for a bit, then I got to do some grinding and trimming on the other side. And I quickly bent this lip back, so this I think has to be sucked in a bit this way, the whole thing, so I don't know. It's not the straightest, but should work. There we go. Quick 30-minute job. Got that side done. I could fill that in with welds right there if I really cared, but to be honest, I'm kind of lazy. I could have ground this down more if I really cared, but to be honest, I'm kind of lazy. Looks like shit in there, but whatever. There we go. Give it a shot of paint, and that's as far as I'm going to get it for now. So that is the hood almost finished. I'm not going to fill in this hole just yet because I might actually do something with the exhaust with that.